When you think of activities with a big carbon footprint, urban farming probably isn't what comes to mind. But a recent study published in Nature found that the carbon footprint of food from urban agriculture is actually 6 times greater than conventional agriculture. And there's one big reason why.
The primary contributor to the carbon footprint on our sites that we studied was actually the infrastructure that was invested in growing food.
The good news is that there are plenty of ways to reduce your carbon footprint, starting with what you put in your garden.
It is really important to try to find reused or reclaimed materials to invest in the garden because that becomes a really important part of the carbon footprint.
It's the original raised bed gardening. You don't need to build a box.
Clint Porritt is the coordinator of Star Garden. It's an organic garden that incorporates sustainable practices as much as possible.
We're kind of returning to kind of old school practices of gardening. And so it's a deep mulch, no-till garden.
That means instead of digging into the soil, each vegetable bed starts with cardboard.
Like just drench this until it's like soggy, you know. On top of the wood chip, we just put straw, leaves, grass clippings, any type of organic material we can get our hands on for free.
The goal is for all that layering to mimic what happens naturally in forests.
You can usually stick your hand into a forest floor like 6-8 inches, and it's just all kind of organic decaying leaves and sticks and twigs and maybe the occasional bit of manure from an animal that goes through the forest.
The major benefit of this type of gardening, it's really good at keeping soil moist. During the 2023 record drought, Porritt says they only watered the beds about 20 times.
As you dig into the soil, you're actually drying it out. You're disrupting all these microbial networks that are at work in your soil, doing good things, keeping your soil healthy and diverse.
Star Garden reduces their carbon footprint in other ways too. Almost all the materials they use are either recycled or donated to them, including their seedling trays. And instead of fiber seedling pots,
all these toilet paper rolls are donated from people all over St. Albert. You don't need, nearly as much of the stuff that you see for sale in your gardening aisle at Walmart. A lot of it's just not necessary.
And if you already went out and bought 1 million plastic pots and other equipment,
if it's already there, keep using it because you're just going to keep producing more food and more social goods with those materials.
And despite the carbon footprint, both experts agree that the social benefits of gardening far outweighs the carbon footprint.
Whether that means giving some tomatoes to your neighbor or, having people over for a garden party, all of those things are important.
As you grow your own stuff and as you interact with the environment, you have a deeper appreciation for the natural world and the way the natural world works. So this is a much gentler way to not do violence to the earth and to respect our place in the circle.
Stephanie Cram, CBC News, Edmonton.